Well, good morning. Barry O'Brien here on CVU Radio with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo from the mayor's office. Good morning, Mayor Moyo.
Good morning, Barry.
Good to see the sunshine out. We are recording here on Wednesday morning from your office downtown, and
we can watch the crew try and fix the traffic light out on the
I'm glad that there are your tax dollars at work. Very good.
Police are out there, and
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, last week we were figuring out the days that this radio show was going to run, and we were 4th of July's and whatever. So now that we've had the 4th on Flagler, what happened with the hole-in-one contest? Did anybody win this? Anybody get the 20 grand?
I don't know.
You don't know? Were you down there? Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it. I was down there.
Yeah. What about this brunch thing? I was playing golf. I didn't go.
I went down for brunch.
Yeah.
I had a lovely brunch.
Right.
And then we went over and checked out the hole-in-one, and there were a couple of people. Now, you know, we had a little press conference where we showed the hole-in-one, and when we did it at the press conference, I could actually see the green and the hole. But when I went out there on Sunday, the hole was like all the way down to the other.
Well, I mean, you don't want to make it too easy to win 25 grand.
I couldn't even see it, so I don't know if anybody won. Somebody else asked me that the other day.
Somehow I have a feeling if somebody won, we would have
Yeah,
heard
no.
about it. We would
I don't
have
think
heard
so.
about it.
I don't
Okay.
think so. But it was a great 4th of July, and I hope everybody enjoyed the fireworks and had a good time on Flagler. It didn't rain.
The weather held out. Boy, we've had a lot of rain this
It was
week.
raining
Boy.
where we live, and as I came down here for the 4th of July, I thought, oh gosh, I hope it's not raining downtown, and it wasn't. It was perfect.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, you're off to Washington tomorrow, which would have been 2 days ago as you're listening to this, but tomorrow you're looking for some money for quiet zones and
Right.
what else? What another transportation need?
Well, I will be in Washington, or I was in Washington on Thursday and Friday. And
The Orioles are playing the Washington Nationals
Oh, really?
tomorrow.
I should stop and say hello to my
up in
friends at the
Baltimore, yes.
Nationals.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, we're going to meet with Secretary Fox. He's the Secretary of Transportation, used to be the mayor of Charlotte. And, you know, our lobbyist said, you know, he really likes to talk to mayors. So Mayor from Hollywood and I are going to talk with him about the Tiger grant that we applied for. It's a transportation initiative, something that spells out Tiger. And we applied for $20 million for Palm Beach and Broward County to put quiet zones in our crossings. And in West Palm, we have 35 crossings. We have the most of anyone. I think Broward, the whole of Broward County has something like 42. So we're going to go advocate for getting this Tiger grant, and hopefully he'll look upon us nicely because we're both mayors, and he was a mayor, and we'll see. We're also going to go talk to some folks. Our congressional delegation will be speaking with Senator Nelson, Congressman Hastings, Congresswoman Frankel, Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz, and talking with them about this grant that we've put in at the Department of Health for a health and wellness program for our teens, and in conjunction with our Department of Health here in Palm Beach County and our police station, and it's part of our Youth Empowerment Center. So we'll be doing that.
Well, very
well.
Very good.
Yep.
So you'll be there for a couple of days. You know, it's funny, you talk about these, the train horns. I guess I like trains. When we were staying downtown, when we have a condo downtown, and when we lived in Boston and would come and stay in the winter, I would hear the trains coming down the FEC track, and it was like a little bit of Americana, and I heard it, and I'd just roll over and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Now, I guess maybe if I lived closer to the tracks, I would feel differently, and maybe everybody doesn't feel the same about train horns as I do.
I grew up with train horns in the summer, where we spent our summers every summer, and a train was nearby. And I always found it comforting, but, you know, I was a kid, so it might not feel that comforting at this point in my life.
Right. I guess we're supposed to be getting the the plans on the All Aboard Florida station within the next couple of weeks here. They just
Yes.
unveiled Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
And one thing that is interesting, they're going to be, as we know, they're going to be blocking off Datura and Ivernia when the station is finished. But I was just reading in one of the papers for Fort Lauderdale, they're blocking off a couple of streets down there as part of their station construction. But they made note in this article that those streets are going to be blocked off in the very near future because they need to block them off as they're constructing the train station. So I'm assuming that we're going to be dealing with the closure of Ivernia and Datura maybe by the end of the year, if they stay with their schedule. I don't know.
I don't know. They are projecting to bring us their plans on the 21st, or have those plans public. So we'll see. I don't know if we'll know then what their construction schedule is going to look like.
Oh, the 21st of July? That's not far away.
Yeah.
That's not far away. That'll be great. Tell us a little bit about, now we have to go to a break here in a little bit, so I don't want to split it up in the middle. What's going on with the Flagler Bridge? That's closed now, right?
It is closed.
And I had read where they thought they were going to be able to open it early, and then I didn't hear any more about that.
I haven't heard anything either. I heard the same thing you did, that it's going along well, and they might be able to get it done early, but I haven't heard for sure if that was just a rumor.
It doesn't appear that it's creating gridlock. But we're not in season here either.
It's fortunate that we're not in season, but let me tell you, our folks and the county transportation traffic people have done a great job rerouting traffic, making sure that there isn't any gridlock on Okeechobee, and it's
Right.
worked out really well.
Right. All right, we're going to take a brief break. We're with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, we are back. Barry O'Brien here on CV Radio with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo from the mayor's office. Mayor Moyo, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the potential developments on what they call the tent site, which I don't think I understand why they call it the tent site. Do you know why they call it the tent site? I guess I haven't lived here long enough.
There used to be a tent
Was there
there.
a circus there or something, or what?
No, there used to be a tent there, and we moved here 12 years ago, and I think it was there when we moved, but not much longer than that, so it's probably been gone for 10 years at least. But they used to have expositions there, like they'd have an antique show or something.
Yeah.
And
It's like
it was
when
a
you
big
ask
tent.
somebody for directions and they say, well, go down to where the bowling alley used to be. Well, okay, all right, but they
Yeah.
call it the tent site. Anyway, I read in the paper at the beginning of the week that the West Palm Beach City Commissioners had voted to do some negotiations on building and development on that tent site. And they had chosen, not that they had chosen this developer to be the final person, but they had chosen to, I guess, negotiate with this person exclusively for the next 90 days or so to see what they were going to present. And when I looked at this, I said, wait, that just seems a little bit odd. There's a lot of, maybe there's a lot of interest there, and maybe I missed part of the story. Any thoughts on that? And then I read something where the Cleveland Clinic, which I use their facilities over in City Place, apparently they're saying, gee, we could use more room here. We wish we knew that there was potential here. Any thoughts on this, or?
Well, we had two unsolicited proposals come to us. And when I say unsolicited, that means that we did not go out and ask. We did do an RFP on the tent site several years ago, and didn't really get too much, didn't really get much that we wanted. And so we closed out that RFP, but that was a few years ago, before we've seen this uptick in
Sure.
the economy. So we haven't put out anything formal in the last little while, but we did get two unsolicited proposals. Each of those developers presented, first of all, the proposals were given to us, and then they asked for confidentiality. So they've been under the the confidentiality agreement that we have with them, so we haven't been able to speak about who they are. We could talk, we call them Project Eco and Project something else.
But we didn't have to sign a confidential agreement with them, right? I mean, they're the ones who requested it?
Yeah, and usually you do, because especially when you're in negotiations, it's better for the private company, because anytime you're involved with the city, everything becomes public records, and it makes it a little more difficult for a private company. Then they asked they decided to lift the request for confidentiality and wanted to make a presentation to the commission. So that's what they did. Both of them made a presentation on Monday night to the commission sitting as a CRA board. And the CRA board decided to move forward with one of the proposers and take 90 days to negotiate with that particular proposer. At the meeting, I advocated to open it up for other people, because I sort of wanted to see what we could get. But it was the CRA's board decision to move forward with negotiating with the one developer.
So if they like what this developer proposes, they can accept that and not get bids from other companies?
What will happen is, if they like this, if we can come to agreement on price, then we'll present it to the commission. If that moves forward, then we have to allow 30 days for people to submit something if they're interested in the site. So we do have to open it up.
So it will be eventually opened up.
According to our procurement laws, we have to open it up for 30 days.
It seems odd that you wouldn't do that at the very beginning. It seems like you could skip that step by just opening it up, and okay, well, we'll see what goes on with that one.
I think it's just the beginning. One of the things that the CRA director said very clearly Monday night, this is just the beginning of a process, and we'll see where we go with it.
Right before I came in to do this interview with you, I was at the DAC meeting, and we had a presentation from the CRA with some of the plans for the Curry Park area. I was blown away by the stuff that is being envisioned down there. Can you tell us just a little bit about, we've got a short period of time here, but I just was blown away by what I saw.
Well, about a couple of months ago, we had a charrette. We did a charrette at the north end, and basically what that is we spent 5 days talking to people, CRA folks, spent 5 days talking to people, getting ideas, talking to neighbors, talking to business people, talking to developers, and then they took all of that information and put together a whole plan for the north end of West Palm Beach. So there's some great ideas for the Northwood area, ideas for Broadway, and also ideas for Curry Park. And we're working on the Curry Park first. There's something called SEMA, the Curry Park Mixed Use District, which has controlled the zoning there. We're going to lift that and bring in some new code to address that. So we'll be able to address different heights, have higher buildings, taller buildings. And part of the reason that we're moving forward with Curry Park first is that we have developers who are interested in it. So that's pretty exciting. There's a lot of land around. And when I say Curry Park, I don't mean the park itself.
Right,
I mean
the general area.
Private land around the park.
There.
And the multiple developers own land there and are ready to move forward with some great ideas.
Well, if you are a resident of West Palm Beach, I would go out of my way to pay attention to what they're doing there. And I'm not saying that in a cautionary way that there's something going on. You take a look at it, because there's some really interesting opportunities coming up there. It's
cool.
I think it's going to be really neat. All right, that's it for this week. I'm Barry O'Brien with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo. I will see you here on Seaview 605 on Tuesday night, and we will be back with Mayor Moyo next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
All right.